The core of session 2, Poetry 101, is the use of Latinate and Anglo-Saxon words and what they bring to a poem. In the description below, you'll find site suggestions for those different kinds of terms, but briefly you can say relinquish, abdicate, desert, renounce, or you can say abandon, leave, forsake, give up. You can say agony or pain or ache, hurt, smart, sore. That's the Wikipedia site. You can say profession or job, infant or baby, frigid, cold, fatal or deadly, imbibe or drink, terrain or ground. To decide which kind of word, which kind of diction you want to use, you need to know the effect you want to have on your poem and the effect Latinate diction has versus the effect Anglo-Saxon diction has. Latinate words tend to create a softer tone. It has a greater sense of emotional distance. Anglo-Saxon words are usually one syllable and feel more concrete. They are easier to picture and feel. This tends to make it easier to show instead of tell, which I'm sure you've heard before. Can you successfully use Latinate terms? Oh, yes, of course. Just make sure it is the effect that you want. Something Bright Then Holes is a poem by Maggie Nelson. It's in the book of the same name. Here are the first 24 lines. I used to do this. The self I was used to do this. The selves I no longer am, nor understand. Something bright, then holes, is how a girl newly sighted once described a hand. I reread your letters and remember correctly. You wanted to eat through me, then fall asleep with your tongue against an organ quiet enough to hear it kick, learn everything there is to know about loving someone, then walk away coolly. I'm not ashamed. Love is large and monstrous. Never again will I be so blind, so ungenerous. Oh, bright snatches of flesh, blue and pink. Then 4 dark furrows, 4 funnels leading to an infinite ditch. The heart, too, is porous. I lost the water you poured into it. What she does is use a variety of dictions. She starts with simple one-syllable Anglo-Saxon words. As she establishes the image, she pulls back, using direct Anglo-Saxon words like coolie and then the Latinate monstrous. She could have used another word, of course. She didn't, because the effect monstrous has, it's a mind word, one that doesn't move to sensual images easily. She could have said vile, ugly, and had a much more direct effect on our guts. Here are a couple of quotes from the listed sites. The first one, selecting either more Anglo-Saxon or Latinate words can be helpful for characterization. Writing with an abundance of Latinate words will usually sound posher and more proper, while writing with more Anglo-Saxon is more direct. This can shift voice, tone, and readability. For example, Latinate. Enjoy your adolescence. The labor of your elder years is exhausting. Anglo-Saxon. Be happy you're young. Working when you're old makes you tired. I like that example. Example 2. The Saxon words have hard sounds like CK or the hard G. Meanwhile, Latin words are softer, flowery, and more musical. That means you should use Saxon when you want to cuss at somebody and Latin ones when you want to seduce them. Ward Farnsworth highlighted the differences in his book's classical English style. As you would expect, forbidden words, quote, swear words, tend to be Saxon. The most famous taboo word in the language is a good example, being short a four-letter word and ending with the familiar hard sound. Its precise etymology is unknown, but probably Germanic. The Latinate equivalent, copulate, is longer, sounds softer, takes suffixes, seems more distant from the act, and can be said in polite company. That's another favorite example. It's a good paragraph. I like it. In the session, we also talked about word clusters. I used an example by Sharon Olds, a poem called The Quest. The website poetryfoundation.org has a copy of the poem. The first line of the poem is, "The day my girl is lost for an hour." Quite a first line. It sets the geography of the poem, and you know what the poem's going to be about and what it will likely feel like to read it. About halfway through the poem, she says, "Yet there are those who would. I pass the huge cockeyed buildings, massive as prisons, charged, loaded, caulked with people, some who would love to take my girl to undo her, fine strand by fine strand. These are buildings full of rope, ironing boards, sash, wire, iron cords woven in black and blue spiral like umbilici, apartments, supplies, with razor blades and lie. This is my quest." Word clusters, from what I've just read, cockeyed, massive, charged, loaded, cocked. Another sample, strand, rope, sash, wire, etc. By doing that, by having a line with word after word in the same cluster, it brings the same emotional punch, but with subtly different meanings. To have that kind of an effect on a poem, you can cluster words on a number of things, but sound, for example, subject, image, each will generate a specific kind of tension. The next session, session 3, is on sonics. See you then.